Hi folks, Brian Foote here. My special guest on this little show is a Los Angeles Olds Super. This horn has no tuning slide brace. It has very minimal bracing throughout the first and second valve block. Just these very thin panel bracing. You can see, I don't know if you can see this, but these are just little sheets that they bent. So aspects of the horn are lightweight, but the valve block is very, very, very heavy. Very heavy brass. Top of the valve block is nickel silver, bottom is yellow brass. Valve caps themselves are relatively light. Relatively light valve caps. The valves on this horn are really a joy. Like possibly the best, most perfectly worn, but not overworn, worn in a good way, valves. They are pure glass, glassy valves. It's got that Kronz ring. It says Los Angeles, made by F.E. Olds and Son, Los Angeles, California, USA. And the bell is probably the weakest point on the horn. The bell's been trued and helped along quite a bit. At some point, it received some trauma that caused a little bit of a scarring here where they had to true this, and the same thing here, but the bell still has a great ring to it. So, and there's a couple spots where there was a little fold and a bend, so it's not a virgin bell, unlike the Olds recording that I just sold, but it still has a great ring to it. So it has a nice little ring there. Nice ring on a concert B there. And there's a little bit of an E harmonic or a D harmonic. And the mouthpiece that I'm going to be using on it is this Getzen. This is a really weird Getzen. This is a custom heavyweight Getzen 5S. And the S in this case does not mean shallow. The S in this case means symphonic. This is a deep bowl. But it's not really super wide. It's very middle of the road in terms of diameter, but it's got this thick gold-plated cushion rim. So my flexibility on this is not great, so I'm not going to be doing a lot of shakes, and it's deep, so it's not easy to get that compression. Rather medium open back bore. Call that medium open. The shank of this mouthpiece is a little bit smaller than average. In the 40s and 50s, a lot of the receivers were just slightly smaller than normal today. They were just a little bit smaller. They weren't like much smaller, just a little bit. So this mouthpiece was made just about the same time this LA Olds was produced, and as you can see, fits perfectly. That's probably ideal gap for this horn. Oh, another thing I wanted to point out. Trombone, dual trombone lever style water keys. Boom, boom. So easy to remove the spit. So easy to get the spit out. You just push all the valves down. Done. Easy. These cool kind of Art Deco-y atomic age swathy kind of braces. Very, very stylish. Two-piece nickel silver and brass valve casing. In every way it's a medium weight horn. It's a top end all around trumpet. Very, very nice trumpet. And the tune that I'm going to be playing on it is tuned by the Carpenters, and it's "We've Only Just Begun." And my friend Jason O'Donnell recommended this tune to me a few weeks ago. He's like, "Have you ever really sat down and listened to this thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've heard it in shopping malls. I've heard it in grocery stores in passing." He's like, "No, sit down and listen to the harmonies, listen to the subtle vocalizations." And I'm blown away at how great this tune is. I know why it was so overplayed in the 70s. I know. It was a beautiful, beautiful tune. And I bet millions upon millions of people used it as their wedding song. Millions. Because it's just so beautiful. And yes, if that makes me a cheese ball, then I'm a cheese ball. I love We've Only Just Begun. I love a few of the Carpenters tunes. They're just too good. And Karen Carpenter's life was extremely tragic. It was very sad that she suffered such neuroses about her image. But sometimes in life we can be our own worst critics, and sometimes we can criticize ourselves to the point where we're harming ourselves. And if you have a problem of any sort that's causing you harm, please get help. We're here for each other as humans. It's our jobs to lessen the suffering of each other. And to try to lessen your suffering and give you something nice to listen to, I'll do a little brass version of We've Only Just Begun. And I might even sing a little bit at the end of it. We'll have to see. Comes, we smile, so much of life to live, a kiss and love and we're on our way, we've only just begun. Los Angeles Old Super and Brian Foote.